So you think you're ready to be the owner of one of these fur babies? They're really cute, but sometimes... Let's talk about it today on Life Starring Deb. Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back to Life Starring Deb. As always, I'm super excited when you guys tune in to watch my episodes. I'm having a blast bringing them to you each week. I'm learning a lot myself, and I'm definitely enjoying meeting you all. Some of the inbox messages that I receive with comments about topics that you have watched and, give me suggestions on things that you would like for me to talk about. Like I said in our very first episode, nothing is off the table, and we will deal with it all 1 week at a time, 1 episode at a time. So if you are enjoying these episodes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes from Life Starring Deb. So I'm going to dig right in here with today's topic, and it is going to be a topic for you. So somebody talked to us, convinced us, or made a suggestion that we get a pet. Maybe because we were alone. Maybe because someone thought that we needed something else to do, something else on our plate, something else to care for. Maybe you just decided that you were lonely and you wanted a pet. You wanted an animal, which is good. I don't have a problem if we want it, but there is much more to it than just wanting it. Let's talk about it today. So this is what happened to me. It was December of 2020. We're still in the pandemic, still probably getting on each other's nerves, everyone in the house, right? My daughter said, "Mommy, I think I want to get the kids a puppy for Christmas. Wouldn't that just be a great surprise if we just got them a puppy?" And I said, "Oh yeah, that would really be a good idea." Didn't think about it, didn't talk about it, didn't talk about responsibilities and who was going to be responsible for what, didn't investigate it, just, yeah, that would be a great idea. We didn't even talk about the breed, like what kind of dog we wanted to get. It was just a good idea to surprise the kids for Christmas with a puppy. As fate would have it, someone was selling Yorkies, and we jumped on it, purchased it, and brought it home. And there started the issues. So this is what I meant by issues. Anytime you bring another living and breathing something into the house without communicating about it or preparing for it, there are going to be issues. It's like a baby. If you know that someone is pregnant or they're going to be bringing a baby into your home to live, you have to prepare your home for that baby. You've got to prepare your mental state, because you're going to be taking care of or helping to take care of another living being. And we didn't do that. We just brought the puppy home. We didn't take the time to investigate, delegate, and figure out exactly who was going to be responsible for what. And if you don't have those conversations, the burden of that puppy or that kitten or whatever it is that you bring in the house could very well fall in your lap. So again, it was a good idea to get a puppy for the kids, right? But the kids are not the ones taking care of the puppy, our puppy. And so there's much to consider when you are going to get an animal, a pet. And I want to tell you about some of those things just in case you're thinking about maybe getting one on your own. I think before you decide to bring a pet home, you have to have an honest conversation with yourself. An honest conversation with yourself. Because your lifestyle is going to change. And it could very well change drastically. So you need to have a conversation. Be honest with yourself. A, do you have the patience to deal with the animal in your home? Do you have the funds, the money? Because it's not cheap. Can you afford to bring a pet home? Do you have the space to accommodate a pet? Do you travel a lot? And if you do, who's going to be responsible for the animal when you're gone? Do you even want it? You really need to have these conversations, because once you bring them home, life changes. And you have to prepare. You have to prepare your house for the new animal that you're bringing home. There are fees up front in addition to the money that it takes to purchase one. If you purchase one, now if you get one from a shelter or someplace like that, that's different. But even if someone gives it to you and you don't pay anything, you still have to pay things to prepare for the arrival of the dog or the cat. Where is the puppy or the kitten going to sleep? You have to prepare for that. You've got to get a bed. You've got to get a crate. You've got to get something, because you can't just let the animal just nilly-willy all over the house. You have to be able to confine them in a space, especially if you're still working. If you're still working and the dog or the kitten is going to be left alone the better part of the day, then you have to plan for that, and you have to have a place for the dog to be when you're not here. The cost. What are you going to feed the animal? And you have to investigate that. And you've got to find out, like, what is the best food for this animal that I'm bringing home? You've got to get the puppy or the kitten shots. Just like a baby, immunization, you've got to get shots, because you don't want the puppy or the kitten to get sick. So you have to get them shots. And so that means you're going to have to get a veterinarian, someone that can help you to care for the animal. You've got to get a leash, because if it's a puppy, you have to walk that dog. You have to take the dog out. And so then you also have to ask yourself, are you physically able to walk your dog on a regular basis? Not just when you feel like it, but on a regular basis, because you have to establish some kind of routine for the animal that you're bringing in the house. Do you like your quiet time? Do you like routine? Because all that's going to change when you have an animal in the house. Do you work long hours? If so, who's going to care for the animal that's in your house when you're still working in the office? All of these things have to be considered. In addition to that, you've got to buy some toys. You've got to buy something to stimulate the animal. Chew toys. Because if you don't buy chew toys and you're used to coming home and kicking off your shoes, then your Jimmy Choos will become the dog's chew toys. And you've got to consider that. Otherwise, it might be, bye-bye, puppy. I think one of the hardest things for me to get used to when we brought our puppy home were the accidents in the house. I am just a person that likes a clean house. I like a clean, fresh smelling house. And when dogs have accidents, and I have carpet, I don't have hardwood floors, it leaves an odor. I don't care if you shampoo it, if you get a professional to come in and clean the carpet. Once that carpet dries, the smell is still gonna seep through, especially if the urine seeps down into the padding of the carpet. And it can be very, very expensive to get that smell out, especially if the dog is not housebroken and continues to mark different places in the house. He'll continue to go back to those spots, and it will seem like it will never, ever smell fresh again. And you end up getting mad at the animal. I can't tell you how many times I threatened to get rid of our puppy because I was just tired of the urine smell in the house. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who has really, really good luck with puppies. And she just said something to me that just made complete sense. Like, the dog is only doing what the dog knows to do. Just like us. Like, when we know that we have to go to the bathroom, we get up and we go to the bathroom. Well, dogs are kind of the same way, because if you allow the dog to just eat all day and drink all day and eat all day and drink all day and not take them out for a walk, and they're gonna go someplace. And once they mark the furniture or mark the pillow or mark the couch or wherever it is that they're marking, mark the clean clothes that you just took out the dryer and you put them in the clothes basket to fold, and then he's marked the basket and you got to rewash them all. Look, I have had it all happen to me with this dog, and it's 2 years in, and I can honestly say I have just gotten to the point that the light came on for me, that I have to establish a routine. And I say I because basically, I'm pretty much the one that's caring for the dog most of the time, because I decided that I have to love this animal, because I know that the animal loves me. I mean, he waits for me. When I get home, he's looking out the window, he's wagging his tail, he's happy, he's giving signals, he's speaking to me in the language that he knows. The same way with going to the bathroom. So I consulted with someone that gave me some really, really good tips about how to care for our puppy and pretty much put him on a schedule of eating, not leaving food out all day, not leaving water out all day, because when you do that, then they're going to want to go. And then, walking him pretty much the same time every day, so that he knows what time of day, for the most part, he's going to be going for a walk. And I'll tell you, if I wait a little longer than normal, he will let me know that it is time to go outside. And I'm paying attention to that. Now, the thing about it is, I'm not always ready to go outside as soon as I get home from work. I mean, I've just gotten home from work, and the last thing I feel like doing is putting the leash on the dog and walking down the street after I've been working all day. However, that is part of caring for the dog. And if you don't have someone in your house to help you with that burden, then it's all going to fall on you. And you have to be the responsible party to make sure that the dog goes out. If you have a backyard, that's cool, to open up the back door and let him run around in the backyard. But he really does need to walk. It helps his growth. It also helps to stimulate him. Dogs need to smell, and they need to smell other things other than what's right in the backyard. So I'm finding that, I am also benefiting from walking Yogi every day, because now, I'm getting to know my neighbors. I didn't really know my neighbors, but now I know the routine of my neighbors. I know pretty much what time they're going to be home. I know the guy across the street. I know the lady down the street. We waving. I mean, it's being neighborly, right? I know just about where Yogi is going to use the bathroom, on whose grass. Of course, we're going to have something to pick that up. We're not going to leave it. We're going to be good neighbors, and we're not going to leave his dog boo-boo on someone else's grass. We're going to pick that up and we're going to throw it away. And I'm getting exercise. So I had to change my perspective and realize it's not just for him, it's for me. And as we are aging, we do need to add exercise to our daily routine. So that's actually something that I am looking forward to on a daily basis, to get out and walk him in the evening. And I also walk him first thing in the morning before I leave for work. I will take him out, and it really is a good way to start my day. I meditate, or I talk to God, or whatever it is. I think about my to-do list, but I'm getting out early and I'm walking the dog, and that's something that we have to do. Dogs have languages. My dog barks a lot, and I used to be like, stop that barking. Stop it, stop it. But what I'm realizing is he's barking to let me know that something is going on. If someone walks on my front porch, he is going to bark, and he is going to bark hysterically, especially if it's someone that he doesn't recognize. So why should I get mad about that? Why should I tell him to shut up? He's protecting me. I would feel awful bad if he turned to me like, all right then, I'm trying to protect you. So I had to change my perspective and realize he is communicating with me, and he's letting me know, or letting the household know, that something ain't right. Someone's on the steps. I don't know that person, and they need to go away. And he will bark until either I go to the door or the person leaves the door. They ring the bell, whatever the case may be. So it's a language, but you have to understand the language. More importantly than everything, it is just really, really, really important to make sure that you take your animal to the vet to get checked out. We recently took our dog to the vet to have some surgery, and it was quite an experience, especially the recovery part for the animal. But it was needed. It was something that we needed to do for his health. And again, it was not cheap. So I am encouraging you, if you have a dog or a cat in your house, get some insurance. They become part of your family. Fur babies are family. And if you love them and care for them, they will love you, and they will be great companions. So take your time, do your homework, so that you can come home with this and don't end up with this. Have a good one.